The Proletarian's Pocketbook, First Edition, 2021, For the People. No rights reserved. This book is encouraged to be reprinted and stolen and made accessible by any means necessary. A radical reprint. If you ain't angry, you ain't paying attention. Mumia Abu Jamal. Chapter 1. Socialism and Communism, Marxism-Leninism. Socialism is the people. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. Fred Hampton. I'm more and more convinced it's only through communism that we can become human. Frida Kahlo. The cause of communism is the greatest cause in the history of mankind because it seeks to remove from society all forms of oppression and exploitation, to liberate mankind and to ensure peace and prosperity to all. Nelson Mandela, How to Be a Good Communist, 1986. Communism is at once a complete system of proletarian ideology and a new social system. It is different from any other ideological and social system, and is the most complete, progressive, revolutionary, and rational system in human history. The ideological and social system of feudalism has a place only in the museum of history. The ideological and social system of capitalism also resembles a dying person who is sinking fast, like the sun setting beyond the western hills, and will soon be relegated to the museum. The communist ideological and social system alone is full of youth and vitality, sweeping the world with the momentum of an avalanche and the force of a thunderbolt. Mao, On New Democracy, 1940. Marx said that the revolutionary dictatorship of the proletariat lies between capitalism and communism. Lenin, The Disarmament Slogan, 1916. The materialist conception of history starts from the proposition that the production of the means to support human life and, next to production, the exchange of things produced, is the basis of all social structure, that in every society that has appeared in history, the manner in which wealth is distributed and society divided into classes or orders is dependent upon what is produced, how it is produced, and how the products are exchanged. Frederick Engels, Socialism, Utopian and Scientific, 1891. Communism is the doctrine of the conditions of the liberation of the proletariat. Frederick Engels, Principles of Communism, 1847. The Marxist philosophy of dialectical materialism has two outstanding characteristics. One is its class nature. It openly avows that dialectical materialism is in the service of the proletariat. The other is its practicality. It emphasizes the dependence of theory on practice, emphasizes that theory is based on practice, and in turn serves practice. Mao, On Practice, 1937. Marxist philosophy holds that the most important problem does not lie in understanding the laws of the objective world and thus being able to explain it, but in applying the knowledge of these laws actively to change the world. Mao, On Practice, 1937. Marxism comprises many principles, but in the final analysis, they can all be brought back to a single sentence. It is right to rebel. Mao, 1939. Marxist philosophy holds that the law of the unity of opposites is the fundamental law of the universe. This law operates universally, whether in the natural world, in human society, or in man's thinking. Between the opposites in a contradiction there is at once unity and struggle, and it is this that impels things to move and change. Contradictions exist everywhere, but they differ in accordance with the different nature of different things. In any given phenomenon or thing, The unity of opposites is conditional, temporary, and transitory, and hence relative, whereas the struggle of opposites is absolute. Mao, On the Correct Handling of Contradictions Among the People, 1957.
Everything moves, everything changes. We must know how to adapt our theory, our politics, and our struggle to the specific circumstances in which we live. As Lenin taught us, it is necessary to stride forward toward the future, getting rid of everything that divides us, everything that life has discarded, advancing toward our chosen goal, socialism and peace. Dolores Ibarruri, 1983.
Contrary to Hegel's idealism, which regards the world as the embodiment of an absolute idea, a universal spirit or consciousness, Marx's philosophical materialism holds that the world is by its very nature material, that the multifold phenomena of the world constitute different forms of matter in motion, that interconnection and interdependence of phenomena, as established by the dialectical method, are a law of the development of moving matter, and that the world develops in accordance with the laws of movement of matter, and stands in no need of a universal spirit. Joseph Stalin, Dialectical and Historical Materialism, 1938. Leninism is Marxism of the era of imperialism and the proletarian revolution. To be more exact, Leninism is the theory and tactics of the proletarian revolution in general, and the theory and tactics of the dictatorship of the proletariat in particular. Marx and Engels pursued their activities in the pre-revolutionary period, we have the proletarian revolution in mind, when developed imperialism did not yet exist, in the period of the proletarians' preparation for revolution, in the period when the proletarian revolution was not yet an immediate practical inevitability. But Lenin, the disciple of Marx and Engels, pursued his activities in the period of developed imperialism, in the period of the unfolding proletarian revolution, when the proletarian revolution had already triumphed in one country, had smashed bourgeois democracy, and had ushered in the era of proletarian democracy, the era of the Soviets. Joseph Stalin, The Foundations of Leninism, 1924. Marxism-Leninism is the ideology of the working class, the most complete political doctrine, the most accurate explanation of social and historical problems. Fidel Castro, 1972. The strength and vitality of Marxism-Leninism lies in the fact that it does base its practical activity on the needs of the development of the material life of society, and never divorces itself from the real life of society. Joseph Stalin, Dialectical and Historical Materialism, 1938. Marxism-Leninism is the denial of the exploitation of man by man that has been precisely the source of crimes, wars, oppressions, and calamities that humanity has suffered over millennia. Fidel Castro, 1972. Marxism-Leninism is the richest doctrine in ideas of justice, freedom, equality, fraternity among men. Fidel Castro, 1991. Our comrades must understand that we study Marxism-Leninism not for display, nor because there is any mystery about it, but solely because it is the science which leads the revolutionary cause of the proletariat to victory. Mao, Rectify the Party's Style of Work, 1942.